For our first project, we are gonna be doing a thrift flip with this sequin kimono thing. I got this for a Halloween costume so many years ago. I'm obsessed with the sparkles. Honestly, anything sequin and sparkly, count me in. I want to wear it, but I just don't want to wear this piece. And I thought, what better New Year's dress than something sparkly sequin? So this was going to be our mission for creating our New Year's dress. Oh. I didn't even know she was in there. Let's start disassembling this thing and hopefully along the way I'll get inspired. I don't have any rhyme or reason when I'm doing a thrift flip like this. I kind of just wing it. This makes it almost impossible to give you guys any kind of explanation on. Everything is disassembled at this point. Did inspiration hit? Not fully, so I think I'm just gonna kind of mess around with what's left of this now and just see if we can come up with an idea. I could maybe do something like a shift dress. Let's see about just cutting the shoulder seam now. With this project, I'm just gonna make it up as I go along, I think. Something I'm also gonna do is just tack this front opening together because I think that this is gonna be the new back. Oh my gosh, is this not giving Paris Hilton's birthday dress? I actually totally love it. Oh my gosh, this would be so fun if I could figure out how to make this. We're doing something. I think that this is going to work. I know it looks kind of funny because I haven't trimmed off the excess yet, but I think that we are onto something, at least with the back. We're gonna have to figure out the front because I'm definitely gonna need some more coverage on the side here, but we have these sleeves as extra fabric. I'm just gonna trim the seam allowance and I'm gonna do an overlock stitch along this edge, and we're gonna figure out how to configure the bodice portion. I just did one side. I genuinely have no idea if it's gonna work, which is why I didn't trim off all this excess fabric yet, because I don't know if it's gonna work. I hope it does, because this would be cute if it did. Okay, I think I did something. I feel like that looks cool, and like with the sequins kind of going in the horizontal direction, and I have it going all the way to the back. Oh, we're gonna attempt doing the other side. I love this little wrap detail in the back. Okay, so we're gonna overlock the raw edge, and then I need to finish the seam for the neckline and the back and add straps, and this project will be done. For the pieces that were gonna be on the neckline and then wrapping around the back, I knew that I wanted to do a bias finish for it, just because one, it would look cleaner, and two, it would be a lot more comfortable, and I wouldn't have the sequins like rubbing on my skin, because we all know that that is just an absolute nightmare. And I had this white jersey knit fabric, so I basically just cut out a 1.5 inch wide strip of fabric, which I used as bias binding for the facing of the neckline and wrapping around the back. I definitely didn't do the cleanest job putting it in. If you look closely, my stitch is just like not straight at all. All that being said, we accomplished the mission of creating a bias facing for the neckline and the back of this dress, thank goodness. Now we were just at a point where I had to figure out what I was going to do for the straps. We're basically done. This is what the inside is looking like at the top neckline and back. I went to Michael's and they really didn't have an incredible amount of options. Are we surprised? No. Ugh. I wish Joann's was still a thing. Well, I got two options because I don't know which one I'm going to like more. The first one is a satin finish ribbon. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, which I thought would look nice with the shimmeriness of the silver dress. But then they had this silver braided ribbon. It's honestly, it feels like a kind of a faux leather almost. That's sort of the texture that this is giving. This was my original idea. It would be tied in the back and then maybe like flow down, or we can do really thin little cord to the back. Oh my gosh, I really wish I could have you guys help me decide. I'm gonna do the ribbon. It feels really girly and feminine, and I'm just gonna do the ribbon and not think about it too hard because that was my first instinct. I am obsessed with how this came out. To me, it kind of gives Sabrina Carpenter vibes. It doesn't have the perfect fit at the neckline or the bust, but it fits good enough for it to look okay. The cross on the back, I think, is my favorite detail. This dress from behind is perfection. From the front, it needs a little work, but I cannot wait to wear this on New Year's Eve. Also, hi, my name is Katie. I make fashion and sewing content here on YouTube, so if that interests you, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button and join our fashion family. Anyways, back to the video. We do have a side quest. That is making my mom a jacket out of this old Giant's blanket. I got permission ahead of time to do this to her blanket, but she is obsessed with the Giant, and she's had this World Series blanket from 2010 or something. It literally has just been folded in our linen closet for years. So I asked her months and months and months ago if I could turn it into a jacket for her, and she said yes, which is when I then moved it from the linen closet to my sewing closet, where it continued to sit for months and months and months. But no better time than Christmas than to finally take action on this project. And my biggest hurdle with this project is the blanket is decently small. I did not have a lot of square footage to work with. And I also wanted to be picky about how I was cutting this because I wanted to maintain some of the graphics, and I wanted it to like visually make sense and not just be random or I cut off a word in a weird spot. I have made this pattern on my channel before. I was able to maintain the San Francisco Giants across the entire back side, which I think looks really cool, and you'll see. Hold on. I did change a couple of things about this pattern though, and one of them was I made the back a little bit smaller than this original pattern. Something that I do remember from the first time when I was sewing this is that there was just too much excess fabric in the back, and so I just cut out part of my pattern that I didn't want to be there. And something else that I knew that I wanted to do with this was have the cuffs be this, what is it? This frills? Oh my gosh. The little strings, the tassels. You can let me know what I'm doing wrong in the comments. But I wanted that to be at the end of the sleeve, and it just so happened that the length of the blanket was perfect for how wide and long and like how the patterned pieces sat on this blanket. It was truly a Christmas miracle. With the front, I was slightly less concerned about having like the graphics be perfect because first off, I didn't have any option for them to be anything but imperfect because I had no more blanket to work with. And also because I wanted the stringy things to be at the cuff of the sleeve, I had to just put the pattern pieces in a specific way. And then basically for the collar piece, I kind of just had to use whatever I had left. There was a facing for the front jacket. I actually just bought at Goodwill this stretchy black jersey knit fabric. Before I even started this project, I finished all of the edges of the blanket fabric with an overlock stitch because this fabric was going to fray on me and I was not about to let that happen. So we just did an overlock stitch on everything, and it, oh my God, that took so long, but it was finally time to get started on the project. I was doing this like so professionally and perfectly. I completely forgot about how I did it the first time. Should I probably have watched that video that I had made? Maybe. That might have saved me a little bit of time and helped a lot. Alas, that was not the case. A hard part about working with a vintage pattern is there's literally no instructions. I have made this one time before and I don't even remember my process with any of it. So anyways, that being said, I just had to seam rip the collar off that I just sewed, and I had to seam rip into the shoulder seam because the facing needs to go in before I were to have done all that. We had to backtrack a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this facing sewed on so we can move on with our lives. That was deeply frustrating, but you know what? Somehow we ended up getting through it, and I realized that the jacket was too short. I didn't want it to be that short, so this is when I decided to cut out the waistband. I went back to our black fabric, and I thought that this added a really nice contrast to the jacket. I got all that redone, so now it's time to move on to the waistband and see if I made it long enough. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I made this long enough. I was convinced for a second, just with messing up on so many things on this project, that I would have messed up on this part too. So I'm happy that I did it. I was originally going to add buttons to the jacket, but I don't think buttons are going to work. Let me show you. If I were to bring buttons all the way up to the collar, that wouldn't work because I made the collar go all the way to the edge of the jacket. And if you were to button it, the collar would overlap in a way that it's not supposed to do. I have this zipper from a thrift flip. I'm just taking off this extra piece of fabric, and I am just going to add a zipper to this instead of buttons. Is this a separating zipper? Oh, just kidding. It's not even a separating zipper. So this idea isn't gonna work. I guess we're gonna add buttons. So I ultimately just decided to not bring the buttons all the way up, because let's be honest, who buttons their jacket all the way up to the top anyways? Not me, and not my mom when she wears this jacket. I only put 4 buttons in, just about 3/4 of the way up. That was it for this jacket. I know that my mom is gonna be so excited to wear this to Giants games. This is such a great way to use something that is a sentimental item to her that wasn't necessarily being useful in its original form, but now she has a one-of-a-kind jacket for Christmas. It was finally time to work on the Christmas dress. I had this pink bed sheet, which I thought would be so perfect for this free pattern that I found on Mood. I was so excited to get started on this. I was also very intimidated by this project for a few reasons. One, I love this fabric and I didn't want to waste it. 2, I had never made this pattern before, so I didn't know if it was going to work. And 3, Mood is notorious for giving awful sewing instructions with their free patterns. So I was just kind of going into this totally blind, and I remained blind throughout the entire project. The first thing I did after I cut out all of the fabric was I sewed the darts, because it's easiest to sew darts when it's disassembled. Once I got all of the darts in, I just assembled the side seams of the lining skirt, and then it was time to work on the actual skirt. And this is where problems started. Thank you, Mood, for giving us free patterns, because that's just fun and great. But what is this? And how does it attach to this? Pretty sure, gosh, I'm not sure of anything. This goes like this? Is this the facing? Oh man, I genuinely have no idea. What is this like little corner for? I don't know. Actually, I think this is supposed to be, I have no idea. I think I'm figuring it out. I don't know.
Later.
I just got back from teaching yoga and Pilates, and I thought that during the middle of my class, I would have some epiphany of how to figure out the skirt. That did not happen. I need to finish this project tomorrow. So I figured I would sleep on the skirt. I have it just set aside. We're gonna try to finish the top. Oh my God, I was holding my breath, I think, that entire time. My sewing machine has been acting up. I don't know if it's the fabric. I just bought new sewing needles. I don't know if it's the needle. I don't know if it's because my thread sucks. I've been having the most unnecessarily stressful time with it, but the top is done. How this is going to fit, I don't really know, but I guess that will be tomorrow's problem. I need to go pray to the sewing gods and goddesses that I will manifest instructions in my sleep about how to sew this skirt because I'm at a loss.
The next day.
Oh my God, I'm sore. I'm still lost. I think that we're just gonna play a little bit of make-believe, turn off the brain and just let the hands do the work. And I'm hoping that magic will happen. This is something that I have learned about sewing, which is kind of interesting because sewing requires a lot of thinking, but sometimes that almost cripples you. And sometimes you need to turn off your brain completely and not think. And sometimes that leads to success. And sometimes that leads to utter disaster and you have to seam rip everything and start all over again. I assembled the skirt. I don't know how, but somehow it happened. And then it was just time to put all of the pieces together. So first I started by attaching the bodice to the skirt, and then I did a stay stitch. And then this is when I sandwiched the lining over top so that when you unfolded everything, the raw edge was concealed inside and the lining was facing the right way and the outer dress was facing the right way. It was time to put in the zipper, and this was like the easiest part of the project, thank goodness, and it went perfectly smoothly, no problems, and then we just had to hem it and she was done. So initially when I tried this on, the neck piece is it wasn't working. It was kind of disappointing, honestly, trying this on for the first time. I wish that I would have filmed it, but I was just kind of like, what am I going to do? I need to problem solve and make things happen because it's kind of weird right now. Basically what was happening was the hips were way too tight, and then the neck piece that was supposed to close in the back, it was like suffocating me up here, and then like the waist of the dress was like going all the way up to my chest, and I was like, okay, this is not right. My solution was, you know, that ribbon that we used for our New Year's dress, I was gonna reuse her again for this one and just have a tie in the back rather than a hook and eye closure, which was what I was initially going to do. And I actually like how this made the dress look so much more. I feel like it adds drama because of the ribbon, and it also made the cowl neck a little bit lower. I do love how this dress came out. I would not recommend this dress to a beginner. This was such a weird pattern. And also, if you do choose to make this dress for yourself, I would highly recommend making a 12 first so that you know what changes you need to make rather than just diving into your pretty fabric. Anywhoosie, I am obsessed with how this came out. It's definitely giving holiday Barbie, which I am so here for. That is going to wrap up our holiday sewing adventure video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it so much. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I have so much more fun sewing content coming for you in the new year. And until the next one, bye friends.
We can cry when it's over.